All right, there it is with the room lights off, but we're going to shut off the strip lights right now and take a better look at it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Geekstrong. In today's video, it's all about the Haslab Cantina. I know what you're saying. Didn't you already do a video on displaying and unboxing the Cantina? I did. But today's video, it's all about one of my biggest complaints about this set, and it's simply the fact that it didn't come with lighting. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to display your set DIY style. We're going to add lighting to this. It's going to be simple. You're going to be able to do it at home. So what do you say? Let's do this.
He doesn't like you. Sorry.
All right, this is going to be a simple project. Might take a little bit setting everything up because there's so many figures and so many booths and tables and stuff like that. But all that you need is to purchase some lights on Amazon, or wherever you can get fairy lights. So I have 2 boxes here, and those plug in. These are battery operated, so I'm not sure which one I want to do. I'd rather do plug-in because changing batteries gets expensive. I went to Hobby Lobby today. I did pick up some foam board. I have 2 different thicknesses. I think I want to go with this thickness. I have, what is it, like a 1/2 inch maybe, if that. So I picked up 3 sheets just so I made sure I had enough. And if I didn't want to go that thick, I did get a little bit thinner. And that is probably like, I don't know, like 1/8 of an inch or something like that. So I got 3 of these, and that should be the base. What I want to do is, because of the thickness, I figured I could run the lights underneath here and then slice a pattern, I guess, and set the lights inside the pattern. So when I lay it down, it's going to be inside basically this foam board, if that makes sense. I'll show you. It's pretty simple in my head. We'll see how it looks. But first off, I have to remove all these figures and all the boots, and then I'm going to lay it out and figure out where everything's going to go. And I think I'm just going to have the inside of the cantina only. The Streets the Most Isolate, I'm going to set on a different display. So this whole area, I might even add another booth, maybe 2 more. So we're going to have, what, at least 4 to 5 different booths. So I think that's going to be awesome. I do have the deluxe version, so I could add 6, but I don't think I have the space for 6. So enough rambling on. I'm going to remove all of these figures and set this up and see where all the lights are going to have to go. So again, let's do this. First off, let's take a look at the setup I have, the alcoves and all the figures, the bar, all the figures set up, the entrance. And then again, the Streets of Most Isolate, I'm going to put in a different location, and that'll give me even more playroom.
I think it would be very prudent.
Can we turn our beds into bunk beds?
Yeah.
All right, we've already figured out how to do this. The beds match up perfectly.
And here's the thing, it'll give us so much extra space in our room to do activities.
That's going to be pretty darn cool. And then have these tables light up inside the alcoves. Is that what you call them? Alcoves, right? I'm going to have lighting on the outside of it so it'll light some of the areas there. And also, I think the droid detector is going to be lit up slightly. So I think, in my mind, if everything works out, I think it's going to look pretty darn cool. So then I can turn off these lights here, like this. One of these lights, yeah, right there. So when I shut off those lights, the only thing that's going to be lit up are the tables in the alcoves. I think that's going to be pretty cool option. And again, I could have it set up in the darkness with just the tables lit up in the alcoves, or I could also turn the lights on also and then have the tables lit up with the alcoves too. So there's definitely going to be options. And again, because of the strip lighting I have here, I can even change the lighting this way. And see how it actually makes the figures pop? Some of the colors make the figures pop. I think that's pretty cool. So anyways, again, enough rambling on, Dean. Let's go. Get these figures out of here. All right, the bar is closed for the night. All the patrons have gone home. And now we're going to redecorate and add some lighting. First off, we have to remove everything out of here. And then I have to cut the foam board, lay it down, and then put the display pieces where I want it, and then figure out where the lighting's going to go by marking where the tables and the alcoves are. Simple? We'll find out. All right, all the figures are out and the cantina pieces are removed. We have a clean slate. Now, sure, I could figure out where I'm going to lay everything out and then put the lighting down and tape it to this floor here, but I don't want to damage my entertainment unit by putting duct tape down, because then it might damage this through years if I decide I want to change things up. And plus, I'm not sure if the lighting will shine through if it's dark. I'm not sure if the lighting will shine through the flooring here, so I figure if I have the foam board and the lighting underneath the foam board, definitely the light's not going to shine through the foam board. So I think we'll be good, and then whatever I want the lighting to shine through, I'm going to cut a hole and have the lighting come out of there and go into the pieces I want lit up. I think it's going to come out pretty good. I mean, it sounds good, doesn't it? Or does it? Let me know in the comments. All right, I have the foam board laid out. I'm going to lay down the floor here, and then I'm going to cut what I don't need. So I'll cut this here and cut all the pieces that are all, marked out, like right here. I'll cut this, and then I'll lay the foam board inside to make sure everything fits. And then I'll take this off. I'll lay all the pieces down. I'll mark it with a pencil, figure out where everything's going to lay out, and then set the lighting down. All right, just a tip. When you're cutting this foam board, all you have to do is just basically break with the knife, the utility knife, just basically breaking the top layer of the paper. You don't want to go all the way through. You just cut the paper slightly, and then you bend it. So when you bend it, then I could run the knife again, like that, and just cut through. And then you can get a nice clean cut. Simple. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Just like that. Just drag it across like that. And it'll break the paper again. And then you can pull it apart. Alright, the pieces are all cut. Let's lay this in first sheet. It's easier if you do it in two pieces like that. So this one fits in perfect. The notch is great. Let's put in the other one. Lay that one down. This one's a little bit tighter, but snap that down. There you go. Perfect. Looks good. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect because we're laying the flooring down on top of this. So let me show you what it looks like with the flooring down. All right, there's the flooring. I think it looks good. Again, I chose the black because the black just goes better with the cabinet. Lay this down. I'm going to get the thinner sheet, lay it across the back, cut it to size, and then paint it the same color as this. Actually, I might just hot glue some of this to the back there. That might even be a better idea. I won't even have to, maybe I will I'll cut a sheet of this, lay it across with this on the back. This way, the back of the cantina I won't see all black. I'll see the same color as the walls of the cantina pretty much. So I'm going to go do that right now. All right, the fabric is cut, or the liner is cut to size. The foam board is cut to size. I duct taped it together. I didn't do the ends. I'm just going to keep the ends normal, and I'm just going to stick a little duct tape, and I rolled it into itself, and I'll stick it over in the corner. I think we'll be okay. I don't think that'll damage, but I just don't want to duct tape to the base of this. So I don't mind doing the ends inside the cabinet and then duct taping to the foam board for the back. I think that'll work pretty well. Check it out. All right, the back is all set. I think it looks pretty good. Any of the wrinkles, it doesn't matter. When the alcoves are against it, you won't even see it. I just want it like certain spots you're going to be able to see through it, like the bar. So just as long as I can have, like, instead of black, I can have the color of the bar, the cantina, the flooring, everything kind of blend in instead of just black in the background. So I'm just going to lay the pieces now. I don't really need to lay the floor because I have to mark where I want to put everything here. And then I can figure out how to, drill it. Well, not drill it, just cut a hole and put the lighting through the floor underneath. Simple. It might take a little time, but it's pretty simple. All right, there it is. I think it looks probably the best it's going to look in here, and I'm pretty happy with it. Right in front and center, we have the bar. We have 2 alcoves that we originally had, but I did put a third one in. Not complete, but I think that looks good with the band. It does have the back wall, including another piece right back there. That's kind of like a corner piece, but that's just standing there. It kind of completes the look. I didn't want to put the front of the alcove on or the roof because it kind of hides the band members. I think they look good like that. I mean, obviously you see the pegs. It is what it is. What are you going to do? But I think that looks good. I did put in the new alcove right here with the alligator head. Got to put the alligator head in, right? I like that one. We have the entryway and then the other alcove. So we ended up putting in like 2 extra pieces. Like this one is new, and then the band member set is new. But I think, look at that. That looks pretty darn cool. Unfortunately, this obviously doesn't look finished, but what are you going to do? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you have pegs here. I wish there was a way that you could get like a wall or something, but I bet you could 3D print something like that. But I think it looks pretty good. We're going to set up the tables and figure out where the lighting's going to go. We're going to mark everything up, and then I'm going to put the lighting in. All right, what I'm doing is I'm just getting a pencil and I'm just marking roughly where all the booths are going. And then maybe I'll put an arrow where I want the lights. Like right over here is, I think we have the light set up right there. So I kind of want to have a little light maybe shining there. Maybe not, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to, you might see the light on the outside. But as far as on the back, we might see it. I should probably switch this around. I don't know if I can because of this here. Because this thing gets in the way. I mean, it's a cool piece. I kind of want to keep it there. But if I put a light behind these, those should light up, right? You would think. So I can put it behind there. Those will light up. I won't be able to do it over here. It has to be, well, I can actually flip this over like that. Put these on the other side and that'll work. And I can do it on that one too. So what am I talking about? I can just, that's what's cool about this. You can change it around. I'm going to take the roof and just switch it over the other side. So both, yeah, that's going to work cool. So check this out. All right, perfect. That's so much better. So I changed it around. I changed the roof from, now these little lights are on each side. So I can stuff the lights behind this area and those should light up. Check it out. You'll see it kind of over here. See how those kind of light up a little bit? And that's just because of the lights above are making that shine. See that? That's pretty cool. Before I had it over here, but because the roof, everything is movable and customizable, you can change it. And that's going to be perfect. I'll have those lights lit up. Yeah, so I'm marking it right now where everything goes, and yeah, I think this will look and come out pretty well. All right, I think this is all the tables I want to put down. So we're going to have 2 there. I think this is where Han Solo and Greedo are going to be. And now I don't put the table directly in the middle of the room, because if I want chairs behind it, it won't fit. So you almost want to keep it almost in the entryway, maybe a little bit further back. I'm going to have a little playroom. It doesn't matter where exactly it goes. I can still move it around. This table doesn't have a light, but I'm still going to put a light there just in case I want to switch it out. And then we'll put lights here. So we're going to put holes and mark exactly where these tables are. And then I'll come from the bottom up all the way around in the back and all that stuff, including the droid detectors. So I just have to mark where all the tables are going to go, where they are. And then I'm going to remove everything again and then put the lighting in. It should be pretty simple. All right, there you go. I poked holes exactly where I want the lighting to come through, all around each table. And then I'm going to lay it out outside of here. I mean, it would probably be easier if it wasn't in an area here, but I have to take everything out, set up the lighting underneath, and then figure out exactly how they're going to wrap in between to have the lighting light up the back, and as well as those little lights in the booths and the alcoves. I know it sounds more complicated than it is, but it's just a little bit of work. I mean, putting things in, organizing exactly where you want it, setting everything up, and then hopefully it lays out pretty well. I kind of like it. I like the 3 tables kind of lined up just like that. Maybe 2 over here. I remember when Luke got knocked over, he knocked over like chairs and tables or whatnot when he fell. I believe, right?
He doesn't like you.
I'm sorry.
You just watch yourself. We're wanted men. I have the death sentence on 12 systems.
I'll be careful.
You'll be dead.
All right, there you go. Everything's mapped out, as you can see. This is the entryway. I'm going to start the lights. The cord's going to be on this side because that's where the outlet is. Actually, I could do it either side. But I think I'm going to do... Yeah, because I'll do this side. And then start here, wrap it around. And then come here, go in here, blah, blah, blah. Everything's said and done. And it'll end, like here will be the last bulb. Should be. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool. All right, here are the fairy lights that I'm using. Here's the block. You just plug that in, and this will light up. Let's check it out. All right, there it is. And these are all the little lights. So there's different settings. Right now it's on like slow on and off, but you can change it to just steady on. And I can definitely put more than one of these. And I wonder if I cut this, I can make it shorter if I wanted to. I'm not really sure. I mean, I do have 2 of them. And this was only like $6-7 for 2 of them. And I think if I don't need as much, I can probably cut it. We'll find out. Look at it. That is 72 feet of lights. That is crazy. Definitely more than enough you'll need. All right, first step, I duct taped the end, the plug-in part, to the right back of the setup. And then we're going to start, the first one will be here, and then I'll wrap it like that. Come all the way around. All right, I poked a hole completely through so I can set the light straight through. I'm going to do the same on this over here on the outside of the alcove where I'll have lights here. And then on this side, I'll do the same thing, poke a hole here, and then it'll come up, back under, and so on. All right, there's the first table. And the question is how many lights do I want? And I think I'm doing 3. And then crimple this up here just like that, roll it up in a ball. and have it underneath the table. And let's check it out. I'm going to plug it in just to give it a test. Alright, I shut off the ring light. There is the wire. I can make it a little bit smaller, crunch it in a little bit better. Set it just like that. Plug it in. Let me plug it in. It's hard to do this with one hand. Let's see. What does it look like? Is it going to be too bright? Is it going to be not bright enough? Come on. Here you go. Oh, the bottom lights up a bit, unfortunately. But I think I can raise it up a little bit. And again, we're going to shut off the twinklers. But pretty cool. What do you think? Alright, there is steady on. I think it's pretty bright. 3 bulbs, it's definitely enough. Sure, it's going to light up a little bit underneath, but what are you going to do? I think it'll still look fine. And again, I'm just duct taping it to the path I want. So whatever's not being used, it's going to be covered with duct tape. So underneath this won't light up. Alright, there it is. I think it looks pretty cool. So next I have to have the light come up here so it can light these little red and blue lights in here. So I'm going to come up a little bit and then go back underneath and then come up here, and I want to light the droid detector. So once I get all that set, I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, I think if I do 3 lights back here, I should be good. And then I'm going to duct tape it with this color here, just a little strip on the roof, and then the rest of these I'll duct tape black so you don't see any of the light shining through. But I'm gonna have to do all that once I lay the floor down. I'm just having these come through, and then I gotta still lay down the floor on top of that, but that'll be pretty simple. So check this out. I figured out a way to light up the droid detector. So the extra lights that I have, I'm just gonna run it through and then wrap it around just like that and put it behind the droid detector. And as you see, the wires are pretty small, so you can just put that right back and just like that. All right, check it out. This is just a rough look, but how you see the lights lit up back there, and then we have the inside lit. I wonder if I should run lights behind. I could do that some other way. I just don't want to permanently add it, because I just want to, you want to keep it kind of dark in here. Don't light it up too much. But look at the droid detector, it's lit up. You can see a little bit of a wire on the right side, but you won't even notice that, but it's lit up. Pretty cool. All right, we're moving on to the next alcove, and I just poked a hole right there. So it's going to light up these lights and the other side of the droid detector. All right, here's the other side. Droid detector's lit up. I kind of like how it like flashes a little bit, but I don't know if I want all these other lights to flash. You know, I don't. And then we're just going to come up through the floor here for the table, and then continue around, and we're almost done. I think that's probably the hardest part right there. So the wires don't go through the hole again. I am taping it to the base right here, just splitting it in half, putting it in like so, like that, and then pressing down just so none of this goes back in the hole. All right, so this is basically what it's looking like now. So what I'm doing is I'm having 3 lights, 3 of these little lights per item. So I'm going to have basically 3 of the lights going into the droid detector, and then 3 going across the red and blue lights. And same thing here, droid detector, there should be like 3 lights there, and then again 3 lights for the strip of the red and blue, 3 lights bunched up for the table. And again, so here's what it looks like. So we have, like, there's a tiny little light right there, and then you come down here, there's another light right here, and then right about here is another one. So what I would use is all that would be for a table or a light strip, you know, top of the roof, the red, blue lights. So everything pretty much gets 3 lights. You can do more, you can do less if you want. And then whatever's extra underneath, you just duct tape down, and any exposed lights that you don't want showing outside, like if there's one way down here you don't want, you just put a little duct tape on it and you're good. All right, so far we have table, lights, droid detector, blue, red lights, table. Now we're going to come, and I think we're going to go this way to this table, to this table, to that table, to this table, and then come up to the red and blue lights here, red and blue lights here, go to the table, and then anything extra I'm going to keep in the back, because if I want to light up the back of the alcoves, you know how there's windows there, if I want to have that lit up, I'll have the option. At least I'm going to keep the extra. I won't cut anything right now, and that I can decide later on. So there you go. It's all mapped out. Everything is all set. Underneath is all duct taped. Little sections not, but I need a little bit of play. And there is a ton extra, so I'll probably end up cutting a lot of it off, but I'm going to leave a section so I can run it behind the alcoves if I want to have that lit up. But yeah, let's lay this all out, and then we're going to put the flooring down, and it should be all set. All right, here's a look at all the lights set up before I put the flooring down. So this is the, I think it's like 1/2 inch foam board. You can use less. You don't probably even have to use foam board. I'm just doing it so just in case any of the lighting underneath would show through that flooring. And then I did cut some of the lighting off because look at 75 feet. It's just way too much. But yeah, it's better to have more than not enough. So I guess this is probably going to be the most tricky part, is laying this out and just cutting holes. Really simple, but probably the most complicated part of this whole project. And it's really not that complicated. So just as I thought, it's good to use the foam board, because if you don't, you see how the light's shining through? This is where the table's going to be, but if it was like this, you would see it shining through. So it's good to use some kind of foam board. I'm using the 1/2 inch. You could probably use less than that, but that's what I chose. And all that I have to do now is go through. I'm going to poke a hole with a pencil where I need to run the light through, and then we're going to lay all the alcoves and the bar down. And just like that, easy peasy. Easy peasy. Don't you hate when people say that? So there it is, all set up. I think it looks really good. At least the lights are set up. We're going to put the alcoves and the bar down. We'll put the tables. But it was real simple. You just figure out where the light is, poke a hole with a pencil, pull it through, and there you go. So we're going to set it all up, and then I'll show you what it looks like before all the figures are laid out. And I think it's going to look pretty darn awesome. So as I said earlier, I'm going to put lights where the droid detector is, and there you go. That's lit up, and then these other 3 lights are going to be for the red and blue on the roof of the alcove. Check it out. All right, I used a little bit of this tan duct tape, and I duct taped the lights in position on the roof of the alcove. Check it out. There you go. I think it looks pretty darn cool, don't you think? And then there is the detector. You can't really see it on that angle, but it is lit up. Awesome. And here's another option too. If you wanted to run one of the bulbs into the lamp itself, you can do that also. So again, for the red blue lights, just bunch like 3 of the bulbs together. We gave enough space, and then we're going to put a little bit of this tan duct tape over that so it doesn't move. So if you're like me and you want to add a few more tables and you forgot to run the lights through here, luckily I picked up a pack of, and this was like $6.99 for a pack of, what is it, 2, 4, 6, 12 battery operated lights, and these are not that long, which is perfect for what I need for just these two. So luckily I have the battery ones, and if you want to add more lights or anything, you just run it underneath here, and I'm just gonna turn it on and off from that switch. Just poke a hole with a pencil, just like I did, run the light through the other one, and you should be good to go. All right, there it is, all set up, all lit up. Let's turn off the lights before we add figures in here. We're going to take a look around. I do have the band members all set up, but I'm thinking it's looking pretty good. All right, my room lights are shut off, but let's shut off this strip light, the one up top there, and let's take a look around. Wow, that looks super cool. Love it. All the tabletops are lit up. All the red and blue lights are lit up back there. Even that bar, that table in the back there, has some light on it, because if I want to change to a smaller table with a light, I can. But keeping it like that is kind of cool too. The longer table, even though there's not a light on top of it, it still lights up because the light is inside of it. But all the red and blue lights light up. I know it doesn't show that well on this camera, but you can see the droid detector lit up. That looks pretty darn cool. I mean, it took a little while, but it's simple. It's just a little time consuming. Again, especially if you're trying to record as you're doing the, setup. If you do it just without trying to set up and record, it's a lot quicker, but I think it looks great. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? We're going to load it up with some figures, and we'll take a look at it again. It's getting late. I'm getting tired, but I'm absolutely having a blast. I think it looks great. All right, there it is, all set up. Let's take a closer look. All right, let's take a look at the bar all set up. The cantina. I'm going to keep the strip lights on for now to keep everything bright, but we'll take a walk around, then I'll shut it off and we can really look at it. But there is the cantina band. That is the mobile nodes with Figure and Dan. Then we have a couple of the aliens there. Aliens in the back. I think they look great. Again, the tables have, the lights are brighter on some of them. Like this one's dim. That's because I have the lights are set deeper in the table versus that one back there next to Lax Siverac. The light is actually through the hole and into the lantern to keep it brighter, because I want to have different brightness on the lanterns, and I think that looks pretty cool. So we have some aliens in the back there. We have the Tonica sisters. Again, I think it looks pretty darn cool. As you can see, the red and blue lights back there, those light up pretty well. More of the tabletops back there. The droid detector is lit up. Han Solo in his booth, that looks bright as heck. That looks fantastic. So overall, I think it come out really good. I mean, it took a little while because it's, it's not difficult to do. It just took a little time. And I think it come out fantastic. Again, I messed up a little bit, is I forgot to put lights on these here, so I had to run a separate light strip, which is fine. It didn't do anything different, except for that one is battery operated versus the other ones. All these are plug-in. It's all one continuous plug-in, but these two tables are battery operated. And again, you can change it around. Like if I wanted to add another table, I can just do another battery light. I actually had to cut some of the extra light off that strip because the strips are so long. I mean, you can do so much, and it's really inexpensive. It just takes a little time to do it. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? But let's shut off this light. We'll really take a look at all the lights set up. All right, there it is with the room lights off, but we're going to shut off the strip lights right now and take a better look at it. Wow, that looks pretty darn cool, don't you think? You can see the droid detectors. You can actually see 3PO's leg, the blue on the side on his left side, our right side, but you can see the blue from the droid detectors light up Luke and everybody back there. That looks kind of cool, huh? Again, let's see if we can focus a little bit because it's harder with all these aliens here. But you get the gist of it, right? All the red and blue lights back there, the tables and the tabletops, some are brighter than others. It's supposed to be a dark, cantina. So I think it looks really good. I think I'm going to put the strip light on, but I can dim it down just slightly. And let's take a look at that. Wow, that looks super cool. I think it looks fantastic. I am excited. It didn't take that long, like I said, and the lights and everything. I think the lights were like $15 total. The foam board was $5.99 a piece, so that was 2 foam boards. And then the duct tape, 2 different duct tapes, so $2.99 for the duct tapes. So how much is that total? I don't know exactly. It's a little late, but definitely under $50 to do all that, and I think it looks fantastic. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? So there you go. DIY complete. Do it yourself. I think the lighting system for this cantina came out fantastic. So Hasbro, I hope you're proud of me. Share it. Tell everyone. Tell their friends. Have their friends tell their mothers and grandmothers that we put lights in the cantina today. And I think it looks fantastic. Anybody can do it. Pretty simple. Use the foam board, lights, and duct tape, and a pencil to jab the holes, and a little bit of patience, and I think it come out fantastic. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? And please do me a favor, like this video, comment. Definitely comments help this channel, and subscribing. So I hope you do all that, and let me know. I want to know what you think, and are you going to do this to your cantina? Boy, it's getting late. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Do all that good stuff. Remember, we are all Geek Strong. Take care, everyone.
So much extra space in our room to do activities.